welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Well, we're excited that you're joining us on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. For 8 years, we've been guiding you to personal and financial wellness. We've had a wonderful series of on our show today with Myles McNamara, with a Comfort Keeper in-home care, talking about a lot of different aspects regarding elder care. For, again, might be your parents, your grandparents, or your friends are going through it. Myles enlightens you on what the abilities that he has to help you and your family or someone else's family with so many aspects. So check us out again, donandgino.com. Check out the YouTube videos. You can hit up Comfort Keepers or Myles McNamara. You'll find all these great videos. And then we're going to touch real quick on something that Myles has now dove into. He's always trying to help out. He's always getting involved. And he's talking about something that is near and dear to probably your community, definitely our community here, I know, and that is suicide prevention. Whether it's with teenagers, it could be seniors, it could be midlife crisis. So Myles has dove in with College of the Canyons, and they've created a film series, and you've dove into this now.
I have, yeah. We, as we were talking about it, it's very, it used to be seniors who were sort of the, highest demographic of taking their own life or, having suicidal thoughts. Well, so College of the Canyons started a suicide prevention committee headed by Larry Shallert over at COC. And we'd been meeting, and then, it was kind of like throughout a few meetings, someone said, hey, let's do a show. So what we decided to do was a suicide prevention film. And the city of Santa Clarita was right there and stepped up and gave us 50% of the budget, and then the rest of it we raised through committee members and public donations and such. So basically what we're trying to show is it doesn't discriminate. You have to pay attention, and the name of the project is Be the Difference. What do you do if you, first of all, we don't know what we don't know, as I said before, so right. Sometimes we'll see signs that someone is having some suicidal thoughts and thinking about taking their own life, and we don't recognize those signs. So what do you do when you do recognize those signs? And as I said, suicide doesn't discriminate. It doesn't matter what kind of car you drive. Doesn't matter how big your house is. So we usually stereotype someone we think that might be considering suicide. But mental disorders and depression and despair doesn't discriminate.
Well, and it could be completely hidden. Like you got a guy like Robin Williams, right? Who's hiding it, or
but
Anthony Bourdain.
There was a lot of signs.
There were signs, and that was what hopefully
my point
we're
is
going to do.
You could be deceived,
right,
into believing because that person is hiding it.
Well, I mean, I'm watching a show right now. It's called A Million Little Things, and it's about one of their top, their dude who's the stud.
Don't be a spoiler, by the way. Don't do that. Okay.
No, he's the dude, their main glue of their show, and he's like, they all look up to him. He's successful and good looking and funny.
A lot of pressure.
And then takes himself out one day, and everybody's like, whoa, what? And they're going through, what were the signs? What did we miss? Right. And it's about that, and how it affects other people.
And not to bore people with statistics, but I mean, it's pretty staggering. I mean, I wrote them down here, but suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States.
Wow.
Whatever. And it's the second leading cause for ages between the 15 and 34. So,
wow.
And so what we're hoping to do with this film is, and I love the title, Be the Difference, is so you recognize some of these signs, and then you need to engage. You need to pay attention. If there's different risk factors in behavioral and environmental and verbal even. I mean, if someone talks about killing themselves, don't just dismiss it. Sometimes just saying, "Hey, are you okay?" could start a conversation that could save a life. I mean, and so the stigma with mental disorders, that we're really trying to dissipate is that if you get help, people can go ahead and engage and be very productive and happy in life, but you have to recognize it. And a lot of people hold back, but you just sometimes have to say the word. Are you thinking of hurting yourself, Gino? Don, are you thinking of suicide? And then
a little shock factor there that actually.
Well, a lot of people are too embarrassed, or have depression. You don't know.
And again, the misconception is that they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
A lot of times, it's cries for help that we don't recognize. So if you recognize those signs, and then what do? We have a great segment in the film with Donnell DeRubez, she actually has personal experience in this topic, and she doesn't mind me saying that, you know, she has those thoughts, but she's become like a certified life coach now, and she counsels people who may be having those types of thoughts. And there are so many resources out there that, again, we're going to hopefully show everybody with this film that we're putting on a ton of different formats. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a DVD. It's going to be able to stream online. And we're going to put this on every format possible. It's going to be about 20 to 25 minutes. We have two amazing ladies who participated to share their loss. We had a mother who lost her teenage son. We had a young lady who lost her father the week after her wedding. And that was a sign that we talk about, because at the wedding, he'd struggled for years, but all of a sudden, it seemed like he snapped out of it. People don't just snap out of it. What they do is they've come to a decision. They've come up with a plan. So he actually used her wedding to say goodbye to people. That's a sign when people start, you know, giving away their prized possessions, or they start saying goodbye, and there's a sudden relief. No. He was using her wedding to say goodbye. He had made his plan. He even said to her when he walked her down the aisle, and he said, you know, to her new husband, "She's yours now. My responsibility is done." So these are all signs that if someone would have recognized those signs and then engaged, and that's what we're trying to say with this film, be the difference.
So this is something everyone should see.
Absolutely.
I'm getting chills thinking about it, because the reality is there's probably so many people struggling, and it's hidden in alcoholism and addictions and all kinds of different ways to hide the pain.
Self-medication.
Right? Self-medication.
Right.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
You know, and we don't take it serious. I mean, as close as you guys are, and if Gino was to start talking in ways that you'd probably say, "Hey, Gino, come on, man, snap out of it. Let's go get a beer."
Yeah.
And
he
then
talks in weird ways.
And he's left hanging, you know, and you didn't engage.
Right.
You didn't start that conversation, because that's a huge sign. People don't just talk about killing themselves to be funny.
Right.
You know, so pay attention.
Yeah, how long have they been thinking about it before they even mentioned something even close to that?
Absolutely.
Or maybe they mentioned it by mistake.
Right.
They didn't even think they were saying it.
And then
it
with
just
our
came out.
teens, we have to pay it, because bullying is a huge aspect of kids starting to think about taking their own life. You know, bullying, and then midlife crisis we were talking about. Maybe someone's just gone through a divorce, or there's a huge relationship issue, or maybe they crashed and burned in the stock markets. Now there's a big financial crisis. With our seniors, it's a lot of time.
I lost a friend that way because
is
he was losing his home. He couldn't handle it anymore. The pressure.
Right. And then our seniors, you know, terminal illness. They're always in pain. You know, they maybe have lost a spouse of 50 years. And so you really, if you start looking at the environmental aspects of people's lives and their behaviors and their moods and what's going on, that's the through line of this piece, is pay attention and be the difference.
You know, you touched on midlife crisis, and I told Don this, and it's like, you know, so almost all my friends right now, everybody's turning 40. And
I remember that.
I guess that's a good thing. Everybody's turning 40, but I'm watching people do these crazy things that I'm looking at.
Like get a
nice car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I thought it was a very healthy solution compared to what my friends are doing.
Right.
That's
So
true.
Right? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm watching these... people are going crazy. And I'm like, these are people I've known for 10 or 20 years, and they're doing things that are out of character.
Right.
All of a sudden. Things that they wouldn't normally do. And you're like, why are you having such a hard time with this very simple thing that you would have normally just handled?
Well, and as we age, we all become more in touch with our own mortality. We start losing loved ones to, you know, terminal illness or age or what have you. So as we age, you know, I think might be the text of midlife crisis is you start to look at yourself and recognize your own mortality and maybe your position in life.
I was just going to say, a lot of them,
it's
they're not getting where they thought they would get by this time.
Right.
Yeah, by 40, I should be here.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Right.
Or I thought I was going to have this and I don't. Or this isn't what I expected
Not
it to
everybody
be.
can go get a McLaren.
Easy now.
Well, so hopefully this will really
right.
be a piece that we can be proud of. I know the city of Santa Clarita is starting a huge campaign on suicide awareness, suicide prevention.
That's good.
This hopefully will be a nice cog in the wheel for that. And I think if we all just stop for a minute and again, pay attention and then engage. And then what this really does is show you the resources. What do? You recognize that sign. Another thing that I want to make this point before we go, you hear about these suicide prevention hotlines, and you think, oh, that's just for someone who's considering suicide. No, if you recognize a sign and you don't really know, you can call that suicide prevention hotline and say, hey, I have a buddy who's thinking of taking his own. What do? I don't know what to do. How do I engage? What's my next step? And that's really something that I think is missed with these hotlines is you can call for advice because you've recognized a sign.
Oh, that's good
awesome.
to know.
Yeah.
So we just need to be on the lookout for when this is available, correct?
Yep, it's called Be the Difference.
All right. Thank you, Myles. Good stuff. You're always getting involved. You're always helping, reaching out. That's why we love you. And you're an integral part of our group and America's Professional Resource Group, which is aprgi.com, by the way. aprgi.com, the best professionals we can find all in one place. And also everything's in one place at donandgino.com. And you can find Myles at, what's the website, best website? Because I know you have a couple of them.
We're a franchise. We're all independently owned and operated. So if you go to comfortkeepers.com and just punch in Santa Clarita, I'll come up.
Yeah, you work Santa Clarita and the San Fernando Valley.
And I have an office in Encino as well.
All right. Great stuff. Thank you for being part of our show as always.
Thanks,
and making a difference. And being the difference.
Being the difference.
All right. We have another great show coming up here in a little bit. Stay tuned and always check us out at donandgino.com.